Is it a fact that Dr. Ambedkar only fine-tuned the draft constitution prepared by Sir B N Rao? Was he the real architect of the constitution? The name and fame that Ambedkar got for making the Indian constitution should actually go to Sir B N Rao. Why B N Rao was called Sir B N Rao? Have all the political parties shouldered Dr. Ambedkar for vote bank politics and dumped Sir B N Rao? Who is Sir B N Rao and what is his greatness? What is his role in the making of the Indian Constitution? To know the answers to these questions, please watch the video till the end. B N Rao's full form is Bengal Nursing Rao. He was an Indian civil servant, jurist, diplomat and statesman known for his key role in drafting the Constitution of India. He was the constitutional advisor to Constituent Assembly. Rao was born on 26 February 1887 in a Brahmin family in Mangalore. His father, Bengal Raghavendra Rao, was an eminent doctor. Rao finished schooling from the Canara High School, Mangalore, topping the list of students of the entire Madras Presidency. In 1905, he finished his schooling with a triple first degree in English, Physics and Sanskrit and gained an additional first in Mathematics in 1906. He completed his graduation at Madras University and on a scholarship proceeded to Trinity College, Cambridge. His brothers, Sri Bengal Rao, worked as the governor of the Reserve Bank of India and Sri B Rao was a journalist and a politician. In those days, the civil services exam was used to be conducted in England. In 1909, at 22, Sri Rao was selected for civil services, a great achievement indeed. B N Rao returned to India and posted to Bengal. Doing well on the executive side, in 1909, he moved to the judiciary after that and served as a judge in several districts in East Bengal, that is, the present-day Bangladesh. In 1925, the Assam government offered him a dual position as secretary to the Provincial Council and legal remembrances to the government. He served in this position for about 8 years. In addition to these duties, he occasionally fulfilled additional functions for the Assam government, such as drafting memoranda for financial support for the Simon Commission's tour of India in 1928-29 and presenting their case before the Joint Select Committee of Parliament in London after the Third Round Table Conference in 1933. In India, Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award. Similarly, in Britain, conferring knighthood is the highest civilian honor. Knight is a person who has been given a title of honor by a king or queen for good work he or she has done and who can use Sir in front of his or her name. Usually this is awarded to the British citizens only and rarely awarded to other countries' citizens. After revising the entire Indian statutory code between 1935 and 37, he was knighted and made judge of the Bengal High Court at Calcutta. Sir B N Rao participated in drafting the Government of India Act 1935, which is said to be the foundation for the Indian Constitution. At the end of this project, Sir Maurice Guyer, the first Chief Justice of India's Federal Court, suggested that he gain the necessary 5 years experience that would qualify him to serve as a judge on the Federal Court as well. He served thereafter as a judge on the Calcutta High Court. He also was assigned to chair the Indus Waters Commission, which submitted a report on riparian rights in 1942. His writings on Indian law include a noted study on constitutional precedents as well as articles on human rights in India. Rao retired from service in 1944 and was then appointed as the Minister of the Princely State of Jammu and Kashmir. He resigned from this position in 1945 following differences with the then Maharaja of Kashmir, Hari Singh. B N Rao was appointed the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly in formulating the Indian Constitution in 1936. He was responsible for the general structure of the democratic framework of the Constitution and prepared its initial draft in February 1948. As part of his research in drafting the Constitution of India in 1946, Rao travelled to the US, Canada, Ireland and the United Kingdom, where he had personal consultations with judges, scholars and authorities on constitutional law. Along with this draft, the proposals offered by the various other committees set up by the Constituent Assembly were considered. The role of Ambedkar at this stage is noteworthy. Based on his personal life experiences and his understanding of Indian society with the diverse religions and cultures and the problems of women and the downtrodden, he incorporated the necessary articles in the Constitution. The first draft by the drafting committee was published in February 1948. In light of the public comments, criticisms, and suggestions, the drafting committee prepared a second draft which was published in October 1948. The final draft of the Constitution was introduced by Dr. B. R. Ambedkar on 4th November 1948, which is the first reading. The second reading was clause by clause consideration and took over a year. After 3 drafts and 3 readings, the Constitution was declared as passed on 26th November 1949. Dr. Ambedkar, in his concluding speech in the Constituent Assembly on 25th November 1949, stated that the credit that is given to me does not really belong to me. It belongs partly to Sir B N Rao, the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly, who prepared a rough draft of the Constitution for the consideration of the drafting committee. Rao served India as a representative delegate to the United Nations. From 1949 to 1952, he was India's permanent representative to the UN till he was appointed a judge of the International Court in The Hague. He also served as the president of the United Nations Security Council in June 1950. Rao died of intestinal cancer in Zurich on 30th November 1953. It is a fact that credit for writing the Constitution has gone more to Ambedkar than to Sir B N Rao. Let us give a cursory look at their contribution to the making of the Constitution. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar and B. N. Rao played significant roles in the making of the Indian Constitution, but their contributions differed in several ways. Number 1. Leadership and representation. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar, also known as the father of the Indian Constitution, was the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. He represented the interests of the marginalized sections of society, particularly Dalits, formerly known as untouchables, and worked towards ensuring social justice and equality in the Constitution. B. N. Rao, on the other hand, was a legal expert and constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly. He played a crucial role in providing technical and legal advice during the drafting process and had a deep understanding of constitutional law, thereby assisting in the overall structure and formulation of the Constitution. Number 2. Involvement in drafting. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar was actively involved in the drafting process. He presented the drafts of the Constitution and worked tirelessly to incorporate provisions that safeguarded the rights of the underprivileged, such as affirmative action policies and reservations. B. N. Rao, being a legal expert, provided technical assistance and played a supervisory role in the overall drafting process. He studied various constitutions of other countries and incorporated relevant provisions into the Indian Constitution. Number 3. Contribution to constitutional principles. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar fought for the eradication of untouchability, gender equality, and the protection of civil liberties. His vision emphasized social justice and inclusiveness. His contributions led to the inclusion of fundamental rights, abolition of untouchability, reservation policies, and the establishment of institutions like the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. B. N. Rao's contribution was more focused on the technical aspects of the Constitution. He played a significant role in shaping the structure and provisions related to fundamental rights, division of power, judicial review, and the parliamentary system. He also ensured the inclusion of provisions related to emergency powers and the appointment of judges. Overall, Dr. Ambedkar's contributions were more rooted in social justice and the representation of marginalized sections, while B. N. Rao's contributions were focused on legal expertise and technical aspects of constitutional drafting. Together, they played vital roles in shaping and formulating the Indian Constitution. Though the role of Sir B. N. Rao is commendable, he could not get the recognition that he deserved. Working for a long period as bureaucrat, his stay out of the country after the Constitution came into force, not being a mass leader like Ambedkar, and not participating in active politics are some of the reasons for not getting his due recognition. It is not a fact that Ambedkar was shouldered by the political parties and B. N. Rao was dumped. But it is an undeniable fact that Sir B. N. Rao did not get his due recognition. As far as making of the Indian Constitution, Sir B. N. Rao is an unsung hero and a forgotten architect. As long as the Indian Constitution is in force, both Dr. Ambedkar and Sir B. N. Rao will be remembered. Thanks for watching.